Rio de Janeiro, the movie begins. Criminal mastermind Hernan Reyes and his psychotic son Dante are waiting for Dom and his team to go after them. They carry out their theft on the streets of Brazil, with Dante and his father following them. They arrive to the bridge, where Dom remained to assure Reyes' death while Dante was thrown off the structure and into the river. In the present, Dom is teaching little Brian how to drive before taking him back to his house for a cookout since Abuelita Toretto has flown in especially for the occasion. Everyone eats after Abuelita speaks, and then they discuss a heist that is allegedly being planned in Rome and is being ordered by Little Nobody. A little while later, a battered and bloodied Cypher arrives at the residence. Cypher claims that Dante is going to confront them with a greater challenge. He had earlier entered the facility following the deaths of 2 guards and said that he had abducted the loved ones of Cypher's henchmen in order to persuade them to change sides so that he may pursue Dom. He departs after stealing her hacking equipment and instructing the surviving henchman to execute her. Cypher struggled to escape and then followed a final goon down an elevator shaft. Little Nobody receives a call from Dom and Letty and instantly sends out operatives to capture Cypher. When they discover that Dante had set up the Rome theft, they take off immediately. Tej, Roman, Ramsey, and Han transport their cargo, which turns out to be an enormous device, while on the streets. Then, before attempting to carry the bomb to the Vatican, Dante hacks into their vehicles to cause them to swerve into oncoming traffic. In the end, the bomb rolls all the way down the hills and streets as Letty chases Dante, but he escapes and she is arrested. Dom manages to catch up to it and employs a crane to knock it out of the Vatican's way. The explosion radius from the bomb's detonation does substantial damage. Dante claims to Dom about breaking his family apart as the gang is labeled as terrorists and forced into hiding. At the agency, Tess, the daughter of Mr. Nobody, meets with Amaze, the new director. Amaze is able to persuade the rest of the agency's board to pursue them while Tess defends them and points out how they have arrested some very significant criminals. Roman brings Tej, Ramsey, and Han to London as a result of the media branding the gang as international terrorists. Little Brian is being cared after by Mia when a group of agency mercenaries barges in. Little Brian flees, and Mia tries to beat them off. However, Jacob, who had been called by Dom, arrives and saves the day. He tosses a man through the floor and beats up villains all around him. While he safely returns to Dom with little Brian, Jacob instructs Mia to find a secure location for Brian and the children. Tess locates Dom in Brazil and identifies Dante for him, explaining to Dom why he is pursuing him. Letty has been taken to a top-secret agency base, so he asks for assistance in getting her out as well as in clearing their names. Tess meets with Letty and creates a plan to get her relocated by making it appear as though Letty is attacking her. Along with a young woman named Isabel, whom Dom is acquainted with, Dom attends a street racing event to meet Diogo. Dante shows up and challenges Dom, Diogo, and Isabel to a street race. Dante has planted bombs under their cars so that one of the two will die during the race. Dante forces Dom to make this decision. Dom ultimately tries to slow Isabel down, forcing Dante to blow up Diogo on the track. Dante then makes an attempt to kill Isabel, but Dom manages to detonate the bomb while causing her car to crash. While Dante flees, Dom rescues her from the wreck. The other 4 eventually meet up with Ramsey's old hacking partner Bowie. When Ramsey finds a file, she discovers that Dante is using her surveillance system God's Eye to spy on Dom's family members. Roman had some money set up, but Dante ultimately drains their bank accounts. Deckard Shaw, who believes Han is there to fight him following his attempt to kill him, is compelled to meet the 4, but their altercation is cut short by additional agency goons arriving. After killing them, Shaw learns from Ramsey that one of the prospective targets is his mother Magdalene, and he leaves to defend his family. The remainder of the group locates a vehicle to take them to safety. Alongside Cypher, Letty wakes up in an agency facility. She breaks into the location to gas the guards and release them. While they are attempting to flee, Letty starts a fight, which results in them hitting, kicking, and slamming each other into machinery. After they regain consciousness, Letty makes an effort to leave without Cypher but learns that the facility is in Antarctica. Jacob develops a relationship with little Brian and makes an effort to fit in with him to avoid suspicions. Jacob's buddy Meadow Walker, a flight attendant, informs him that 3 of Dante's thugs are on board the plane as they take off. He knocks them unconscious and orders the lady to hide their bodies while he and little Brian fly off to Brazil in a secret jet. Isabel awakens at Elena, who turns out to be Isabel's older sister, and Dom's apartment. She admits to Dom that she never thought Elena was the superior sibling and expresses doubt over who died first. She is reassured by Dom that this is untrue. They locate Dante's home connected to an abandoned police station with Isabel's assistance and discover Elena's old files on him. When Dom visits the station, he discovers a lot of old recordings and videos of him and his family. Before Amaze arrives to arrest Dom, Dante calls and taunts Dom about making him suffer before he dies, like his father taught him, while gazing out the window at Isabel. When Dante bombs the truck transporting Dom, he is brought over the same bridge where the theft occurred. Tess and Amaze engage Dante and his thugs in fight on the bridge, but Dante has a sniper on them that takes down both of them before aiming it at Isabel, who Dante had kidnapped. While Dante removes God's Eye from Tess, Dom moves Isabel out of the way and informs Dante that he can now locate his son before fleeing. While Dom and Amaze search quickly for little Brian, Isabel rescues Tess. Dante follows Jacob and little Brian, but Jacob is ready with a car filled with cannons that destroys the bad guy. Little Brian tries to assist by getting out the rear, but Dante takes the chance to take the kid away. Before he can go to his brother, Dom is informed by Jacob. Before two of Dante's sniper choppers use harpoons to shoot Dom's car, he is dropped out of a jet in his vehicle. Dom, however, then drives off the bridge, causing them to crash and explode. Then, Jacob offers Dom a chance to escape by giving himself up, flipping his bomb-filled car onto the approaching bad guys, and departing in a terrible but magnificent blaze of glory. When Dom arrives to Dante's car, he convinces little Brian to fly out and into it. Then Dante has two oil tankers try to collide with Dom and little Brian over a dam, so he does the only logical thing and drives the vehicle over the dam while the tankers blow each other up, forcing Dom to hit the nitro hard so they can escape the oncoming explosion. As soon as it appears like Dom and little Brian are secure, a missile fired by none other than Amaze, who has been collaborating with Dante since the Rio heist, hits a plane transporting the remainder of Dom's group. Dom may now die since Dante says he has suffered enough. He then sets up the entire dam to blow in a couple of seconds. Only terror can be seen on Dom's face as he looks at his son. Back in Antarctica, Letty and Cypher leave the facility and witness a massive submarine being steered by, somehow still alive, Giselle emerge from the ice. Cypher appears to have planned for this the entire time, while Letty watches in shock. During the credits, a group of law enforcement officers swarm an abandoned Dante facility. When one of the guys answers a ringing phone and hears Dante's voice, he knows that man is his next target because he was the one who killed his father that tragic day. Luke Hobbs is the man in question, of course. He just says to Dante, "I ain't hard to find, ya some bitch," before crushing the phone and destroying it.